Next pal, stay connected, stay ahead. So today being 30th June 2026, a lot of matches are also going to come on as we continue in the journey of FIFA World Cup 2026. So today matches are going to feature Ivory Coast against Norway. There will also be France against Sweden. There will be Mexico against Ecuador. Let me elaborate some of the things you need to understand in today's match. Previously, if you look at the matches that have been played, you will see that Canada against South Africa was a very tough match. South Africa never really thought that they were going back to the house because the kind of display they showed in the field. It was one of the things that blew my mind, because I was looking at how South Africa was able to put themselves together and they play professionally against Canada. Then the second match was against Brazil and then Japan. This was another tough match, right? You see how Japan tried to manipulate Brazil players. Japan really fought. They fought with all their energy, fought with all their effort. How their coach was writing a lot of stuff just to make sure that he's able to produce something very, very good for the Japan country. The coach really fought a lot. In fact, the players and everybody was putting on their very best to make sure that Japan is able to proceed from round of 32 to the round of 16. But it was just unfortunate that at the end of the game, Brazil was able to give them 2 goals against 1, and it was so sad that Japan have to pack their things, go back to their country, and that was another good match. The third match was between Paraguay and then Germany, and this was another tough match. I couldn't even imagine how Paraguay is able to send Germany back to the house. You never could even imagine that this is going to be possible, but it became the reality to understand that Germany have to pack their things, go back to the house because they have faced Paraguay, and that wasn't something easy for them. At the beginning of the game, Germany had all the possessions, they were able to play very well, but Paraguay have the first chance to score and they gave it to them. When the first goal came in and they went for first half, in fact, Germany became so hot, but they came back and tried every single means, and then they were able to sail through, draw. They went for extra time, and then all the way Germany came down and Paraguay took over at the penalty kick out. And the very last match was between Morocco and then Netherlands, and this was another strong match. You see how Morocco people tried to, in fact, the players were so amazing. In fact, Netherlands also had a very good play. They had good possession, but it was unfortunate that at the end of the day, one of the teams have to go back to the house, and unlikely it happens to Netherlands. We see how Netherlands players were praying even when they left and they were coming to the FIFA World Cup. People were gathering, praying, fasting, and lots of stuff. We are so sad to the country of Netherlands. I wish them all the best. So today's matches are going to feature once again between France and Sweden, and there will also be Ivory Coast against Norway, and then there will be Mexico against Ecuador. This is how I'm looking at the matches. In my own predictions, I know very well that Norway is going to win Ivory Coast if nothing happens by surprise. But I bet you, in this particular FIFA World Cup, anything can happen. Because if you look at how the African countries are performing, how they have been able to put themselves together, if you look at what happened between Ghana and then England, you come to understand that there's no country you should take for granted. The same thing happened between DR Congo and Portugal. You come to understand that Africa should not be taken for granted in 2026 FIFA World Cup. So the match between Ivory Coast and Norway is going to be some kind of tough, but at the end of the day, Norway is very, very likely to win the match. And then also between France and Sweden, this is going to be another tough match, because if you look at the performance France is giving this particular year with Dembele, it's not something small which we're joking out with. You see how they played their second match, it was very tough for them, and when they met Norway in their third match, you see how they tried. In fact, France did everything possible to make sure that Norway will go handicapped, but it was unfortunate that Norway was able to score 1 goal, and they ended up the match with 4-1. And that was nothing small to be joked with, because if you look at the performance France is putting up this particular FIFA World Cup, many people are predicting that France is going to take 2026 FIFA World Cup. But who knows the future? Anything is possible. So the match between France and then Sweden, I may say it's going to be tough anyhow, but France is very, very likely to win the match. And then the third match is going to be between Mexico and Ecuador. In fact, this is going to be another entertaining and an interesting game. Mexico somehow is very strong in this particular year FIFA World Cup. Mexico have been able to establish a very, very strong team that is doing marvelous. But then let's see what happens. It's possible that Mexico can score Ecuador, but anything can happen, because as I mentioned earlier, most of the small teams are really surprising us. In fact, I never really thought that teams like DR Congo could defend against Portugal and they would draw, but it happens. So even countries with small populations and smaller groups are performing. Look at what happens between Ghana and Panama. Panama is about 4 million population. Ghana is about 30,000 million population. But the population is not the case. What is important here was the performance. And in fact, Panama really put up their best to make sure they win that match. And that is it. So summarizing everything again, I want to assure you that today's matches are going to be tough, they are going to be interesting, and they are going to be entertaining as well. So stick tuned for most of the updates that I'm going to be bringing you at the end of each match. You don't want to miss anything. This is Net Power, so stay connected, stay ahead. Don't forget to share this video to a friend, give us a like, drop a comment, and I'll meet you soon.